Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing good. So today I wanted to show you guys my CO2 setup, my new CO2 setup. I'm going to be using a paintball tank, a regular normal size paintball tank that you'd use in a paintball gun for my CO2 injection system. I've also ordered Aquatek CO2 regulator. This can be used on a regular CO2 tank, like an industrial size tank that will be used at like a restaurant or a bar or something. So since it's made for those tanks, I had to actually buy an adapter also that Aquatek also makes themselves, and it's called the CGA 320 adapter, and I bought that as well, and it's already connected with Teflon tape and everything. So a paintball CO2 injection system is actually really cool because first of all, it's much cheaper than a normal CO2 injection system. The regulator for a normal CO2 injection system might cost upwards of $100 to $200, and the tank anywhere from $50 to $100. So a lot more, obviously, a lot more money. This regulator is made by Aquatek, and it's really well made. It's all made out of brass, and the construction is just absolutely immaculate. This was $65 on eBay. I actually got it on sale, which was actually pretty cool. So I'm not sure what the normal price is, but I think it said on the ad that it was around 80 some odd dollars. So, but I only paid $65 for it on eBay, and like I said, it's a good deal because it's cheaper than the normal retail price. It also includes a check valve, which will prevent water from back siphoning into your regulator and your whole system in case the power goes out. This is a solenoid type regulator, so it will use power, and it's actually like not a downside from it because it does consume power. It's actually a benefit because you can plug this into a timer, and then the timer will actually turn the CO2 on and off. So, and that's a good thing because aquarium plants don't consume CO2 at night. So if you're running CO2 at night, you're actually just wasting it. The aquarium plants will only consume CO2 during the day when your aquarium lights are on, because that's when they use CO2 to properly photosynthesize and grow, as most of you guys probably already know. So we got the adapter connected and the regulator ready to go, and we got our check valve, and our paintball tank is full, and a new O-ring is on here, which, let me tell you guys something about this really quick. Before I start all this, I had a little bit of an issue with this tank when I first got it. The O-ring that creates the proper seal was not good. It was actually bad, but I didn't know because to me it looked fine. So whenever I would screw it into the whole setup here, it would just totally start leaking CO2 really quickly, and I was so frustrated. I didn't know why it was. So we actually found out that the O-ring was bad by just simply calling the paintball shop. So we stopped there today, and they supplied us with a whole bag of O-rings, and they fitted a new one on here, and now everything works perfectly fine. So in case you have that problem when you're trying to screw in your tank and you notice a lot of CO2 is leaking out really quickly, just replace the O-ring. It's a simple fix and it's cheap. Usually if you go back to the paintball shop that you bought it from, they'll most likely give them to you for free. So let's go ahead and assemble this and get it all set up on the tank. Okay, so let's go ahead and screw on the regulator to the CO2 tank. You may be noticing I'm cutting off a little bit of the bottom portion of the tank with, it's not entirely in frame, but I'm doing that so I can show you, screwing on the entire assembly here. So I'm going to go ahead and screw it on, and as I screw it on, you'll notice the gauges will start to move. And you can see the gauge move right there. There it goes. Okay, we're properly screwed on here. Good to go. Now let's go ahead and install it into the tank. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and put the airline tubing onto this little nipple here. And it may sound funny to say, but that's truly what it that's truly what it is. Just make sure when you do this, you get a good, tight fit on it. Make sure that that sounds so wrong. Make sure that you get a nice tight fit on it, and that you push the airline tubing all the way down to the bottom, and then just screw on the little nut as God. Screw on the little nut as tight as you can, and make sure it creates a nice tight seal. Now that we got that done, go ahead and plug it in. Alright, now that our airline tubing is connected and our solenoid is plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and release gas into the tank, into that little bubble ladder that I have there. And I'm using a bubble ladder right now because my ceramic disc diffuser that I ordered is on its way. So
That's what I'm going to use to properly diffuse the CO2 into my system. So the bubble ladder is just for the meantime. And as I do this, CO2 will gradually start to come out of the little tubing. Obviously this is way too much. You want to kind of set it down to a nice even stream of CO2 bubbles. Some people like to do 1 bubble per minute. For me, that's not enough. My tank is actually really big, so a good amount of CO2 is, good. So I'm just going to go ahead and dial it down here to a nice steady flow of CO2 bubbles, and so I can get that nice, perfect stream of CO2 injection.
Alright everybody, so thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions on this CO2 injection system, how to set it up, or anything that I didn't answer in this video, feel free to send me a message. I know that some of these things can be complicated, because it was complicated for me when I was learning how to set all this up before I actually did it, and there weren't really too many people out there to help me out. So if you need help, just feel free to send me a message and I'll answer it the best I can. So thanks for watching, and I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.